Hello. Hello, dear friend, future friend who is going to be joining my life. Hello, I am Eve. I love to write and I love poetry. We are looking for new viewers. Yes, of course. Hello, anybody who is going to be finding this. My name is Eve. I am Cuban. My name is actually Eve Sanchez. Eve Sanchez. I write as Eve Lovestar. Romantasy, spiritual stuff, and love topics. Eve Lovestar writes about the topics that Eva Sanchez cannot. She's my alter ego. like did you know that alter ego is actually a phrase in Latin that literally means my other me? Because ego is actually a Latin word that means I. That aside, my name is Eve Sanchez. I write as Eve Lovestar and I love poetry, romance, and romantasy. Hello, script writer. Welcome and thank you for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about the topic that I've been talking about for a long time, which is daily writing. I do so. I write every single day and I have been training myself for years to do so. Yeah, I actually don't run out of ideas for writing. However, though, I have been working on this for many years. It's been, I don't know, maybe 14 years for me. Of course, I am not suggesting at all that it should take another indie writer that long. For me, I started as a blogger, arts and crafts blogger, and back then, even my English was not good. If Spanish is my first language, and so I actually had to learn English. I don't know. I had like a small English level, I could say, and so I had to learn English, and then I had to learn to write better. I mean, I could learn. I could write, obviously, with I don't know, high school level of writing, which is not horrible, honestly, because most people have like a sixth grade reading level, which is extremely low and poor. We have not learned a lot. I think I blame school, how boring learning is, and culture. Hello, Story Badger. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Eve, and I am talking about writing every single day. How do I write every single day? Well, many years ago, I found, and I was watching Tony Robbins, that we actually think the very same thoughts today as we did yesterday. Hello, lost poet. Lost poet. I love poetry. I love poetry. I am a poetess. I know I call myself a poetess. I identify as a poetess because I write poetry from my femininity. And it is what it is. I know that the word is not famous and people are not looking for poetesses, but that's who I am. I actually love to look at the history of poetry, the mystery of poetry, and all those things. I'm kind of a mystic. Nah, but I like mystics. Anyways, I'm talking about daily writing, and poetry helps me with daily writing because poetry and Twitter and poetry helps me with daily writing because poetry and Twitter Twitter and the character count, I don't know how many characters. Hello, Nikki, and thank you for joining me, and Shaw. So I have trained myself to create text that is short and concise. Concise, obviously meaning to the point, without too many words. And of course, Twitter, the new X, helps. I don't have the check mark, nor am I gonna get it. It helps me stay concise. A lot of people hate on this, but I don't. Why? Because I feel like the mental space is very important. And if we are on social media doing our work of sharing and content creating and hating it, it's not going to be a good result. I promise you, my friends. The best is to love what we do. Maria Randy and Sunshine, thank you for joining me today. Today, I'm talking about a specific idea, which is having a new thought. Of course, this has to do with daily writing, but what happens? If you write daily, pretty soon you're going to run out of ideas. However, what I learned many years ago, listening to Tony Robbins, is that every single day we have a percentage, a very, very high percentage, like 90% of the same thoughts that we had the previous days. So imagine, obviously a human being has so many different thoughts in one day. And I believe that women think more than men, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I've never been a man. Anyways. I don't know, I think more than my men. Anyways. We have so many tens of thousands of, I don't know, I just made that number up. We have so many thousands of thoughts a day. And out of those thoughts, about 90% are the same exact thoughts that we had yesterday. So if yesterday I had a thought, I am hot, because I am in Arizona. Do you see that lovely background? Love it, man. I am in Arizona in the desert, and it does get hot. So I'm thinking I am hot, and I had that thought yesterday, the day before yesterday, the day before yesterday, the day before yesterday, and I'm gonna have it every single day after. And how many thoughts do we have that are the exact same recurring thought over and over and over and over in the same day? Sometimes we associate these recurring thoughts with negative thoughts. For whatever reason, the negative thoughts are pesky. They just don't go away. They just stay, and it's like hard to forget them and everything. So what did I find out? I found out that we're having the same exact thoughts every single day, 90% about every single day, the same exact thoughts. That means we're living in the past. Why is this dangerous for creatives? Am I sweating? Look, I'm sweating. Why is this dangerous for creatives? This is dangerous for creatives because we will run out of ideas pretty fast to write. Because if we're literally having the same exact thoughts every single day, how are we going to write something new? The genius in writing is something that the reader or the listener, if we're speaking, can understand, can say, okay, I get this is for me, but it has a touch of newness. That's the genius in writing. Something that is classical put in a new way, if that makes sense. So like talking about love in a new way, that is genius. What is not genius is saying the same things that everybody else has said every time before, and that everybody else is going to say after. We can have talks and debates about that, but as a writer, you have to have a touch of newness into your writing. So again, the idea is think a new thought. I'm not even telling you how to think a new thought. I'm simply informing you, in case you have not figured it out, that you are having the same exact thoughts as you had yesterday, and that tomorrow you will have the same exact thoughts. Plus about 10% new thoughts. I am informing you of this because I am telling you, and I'm telling you this with confidence because I have done this, that once you understand that you are having the same exact thoughts and that this is not conducive to writing new things, that you can train yourself to having a new thought. The intention alone will help you. What else? Just quick tips to have a new thought. Put yourself outside of your comfort zone. Learn something new. Read. Look at new topics that you usually don't look at. Use whatever you might use for inspiration. I like to use prompts, images. I like to read classical poetry. I like to study languages and a lot of different things. So every single day I'm having new thoughts, but it's because every single day I'm engaging with new content, and I'm also engaging with my thoughts. I'm talking to my thoughts. I am writing. I am putting myself out of my comfort zone by writing about new topics all the time, and literally forcing myself to have new thoughts. And then also every single day I'm learning something new. I like to follow really smart people, unlike me. I like to follow really smart people and learn from them totally new different things. I like to follow creators, not creators, like I like to follow scientists, for example, um, actual writers. Not that we're not actual writers. We are like the people who truly, truly love writing. I've been writing for so many years without, being a pro writer, just for the fun of it and for the learning of it and for the mental exercise of it. Guess what? I am smarter today than ever before. I'm also more calm than ever before. I am most relaxed. So it's because I truly live in my craft. And now I do have a loving partner who supports this. So if I was a single woman with 5 children, we do have 5 children, I would not be able to do this. So I'm not suggesting that another person can do exactly the same thing as I do. Of course, this video is for the people who kind of want to do what I do, not for the people who just want to read what I write, which I love the people who read what I write, obviously. They're my favorite people. However, I also like to talk too much, so I think it will be helpful for the people who want to do what I do. So if you want to do what I do, have a new thought. First of all, recognize that you are having the same exact thoughts every single day, and that you need to train yourself to have new additional thoughts in new topics and in new ways. And you need to figure ways to say the same thing in a different, new, and fresh way. And that is how we achieve writing genius. And that is all that I can say for today. I'm gonna do this. I am working a schedule for making TikTok lives, which is at around the same time every day. And also I'm working things at nighttime. I cannot tell you a schedule because it's really hard for me to stay to a schedule. And if I create a serious schedule, then I'm gonna stress out about it. And stressing out is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have fun with this. This was Eve Lovestar. Come and hang out with me if you love to read or if you want to write as an indie writer, because we're just cool people who love letters and we can do it. We can do anything. Much love.